Hi, Denise at Seamless Sewing Arts here. Today we're talking about pressing, an essential part of having your quilt top look as professional as possible. We all really want to have very flat seams, and there are just a few little tricks that can help you achieve the flattest seams possible when you're pressing your pieced tops. So today we're going to look at pressing a seam for a good flat finish. This is a half square triangle, which I just cut in half. You can see the black lines are from the Frixion pen, which will go away when we iron or press. And I'm using my small steam fast iron. Plus I have a few other interesting tools here. I have my tailor's clapper, which we'll talk about using in a minute. I have flatter, and that's one of several types of sizing or starch substitute that you can use to achieve flatter seams. And I have this wonderful mister, which also works well to really flatten your seams. So we're going to start by taking our triangle, and we're simply going to press the seam down to begin. Now, pressing it without opening it sets the thread into the fabric so that right out of the chute you have a nice flat beginning. Then we're going to open the piece, and in this case I'm going to be pressing toward the dark side, which is this teal color in this half square triangle. And I'm going to gently press down the seam with my fingers so that I'm not tempted to push into the seam with my iron. I pressed it with my fingers. I see I have the steam on in this iron. Some people like to iron their piecing with steam, and some people prefer to iron without steam. The thing you want to keep in mind if you do like to use steam is that steam can distort your piece. And so you're going to have to be extra careful that you're not pushing the iron into the fabric while you're pressing. If you're using a dry iron, that's not as likely to happen because we don't have the steam there to stretch the fabric. So now that I've pressed this lightly with my fingers, I'm going to just press my iron down for a few seconds. And I have a nice flat seam. But I think it could be even a little flatter because I'm seeing a kind of a curve here at the seam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some flatter in this case, and I'm going to give it a spritz on the seam. And I'm going to go back and press. Oh, that's pineapple flatter, and it smells so good. I'm going to press that seam, and then I'm going to immediately put the tailor's clapper on top. Now, this tailor's clapper is made out of oak, so and tailor's clappers are generally made out of hardwoods. And what will happen is that as I'm lightly pressing on the clapper, the oak is absorbing the moisture out of the fabric, and the slight weight of the clapper added to that will give me an even flatter seam. So gone is that slight bulge that I had across here since I've ironed to this side, and now it's even flatter than it was. You can also use water to achieve the same effect, and these little sprayers are really nice because they make a very fine mist, and you don't have to keep pushing it. It goes for a while. And once again, I'm just pressing down on the seam, and I'm putting my clapper on, and that seam is even flatter than it was. And you can see that all you have to do now is take off your dog ears, and you have a beautiful block ready to insert into your project. So stay calm and press on. and stop by Seamless to pick up some of these wonderful tools for effective pressing in your quilting. Happy quilting!